Welcome to Yeshiva Daf Shir sponsor Lui Nishma Sang Yakoshom Le'Abba Sitzchok. We're holding in Shavuos Daf Yud Aleph, and we're starting at the Yudam base. We're going to go back to the Gemara that we started at the end of the previous Daf, just to go into the Sugya, because really it's one Sugya. We'll see in a moment how does it connect to our Mishnah. Why do we get to this? So we're holding is like this. Omar Ulo. Omar Ulo is about a third up in Amud Beis, Yudam base. Omar Ulo Abiyechon Tvidim Shlo Hutzuchul Tzibur Nivdu Tvimim. What does it mean? If you have a Talmid which a Tzibur doesn't eat, what will be the case that a Talmid that Tzibur doesn't eat? Some Rishonim say the case is you had a Talmid that got lost. But the Rashi brings over here, and we spoke about it in the morning, I'm just going to say it in short, is every single day you have to have six animals ready to do Korban HaTamid. You use only two of them. What do you do with the other four? You use it for the next day. And then you add another four. For the next day, until you get to the end of the year, every Chodesh Nisan, you use two, you left with four. What do you do with the four? The four you can't use anymore, because in the next year you have to use Korbanis Bitrum Chadasha. You have to use the new money. So whatever is left, what do you do with it?
How do we learn about these things?
What?
We learn with Rashis or what?
The six we learn. We're going to see. It's a Gemara in Zvachim, then we see later in Erchin. It's based on a drasha. There's a few limudim, but we have tweeting, and we have tweeting. It doesn't matter how do we know that, because right now for this purposes we put aside animals that we potentially be used for tweeting, but we didn't use it for tweeting. So what do you do with it? Nifti Tvim. I can go and redeem them even without a blemish. Now this is a tremendous chiddush, because usually in Kodesh, when everything is Kodesh, I can't go and redeem it unless it has a blemish. Once it has a blemish, I can go and redeem it. But if it doesn't have a blemish, I can't redeem it. So how do we redeem it? Here we say you can redeem without a blemish. So you'll see that Rav of a Kamal Lashmaitis. Rav quoted it. Amalei Rav Chizdo Matzais Loch Ulabir Rabach. Says, who's going to listen to you and your Birchan and your Rebbe? Where did the Kedusha evaporate? There was a Kedusha over here. So how did it go away? You disagree with this concept that the Kedusha goes away? That's what we got to the end of the previous daf. So you don't disagree with the idea of the Kedusha. We don't say that you don't say the Kedusha just doesn't evaporate. Fadnan, it says, Moisar Ktoiris, also Ktoiris, right? How much Ktoiris did you bring? And Gimel money we say in Piduk Ktoiris every day. So where was the extra? So Rashi discussed where was the extra? Is the extra the fact the ones that you did the Chafina and Yom Kippur and you have a leftover? That's what Rashi says. Toisa says it was 365. But how many days do you have a year? You have 300. Depends if it's Shas Levon or Shas Acham, it's Hebrew year or now. So in a regular year, which is not a Hebrew year, you have extra. So what do you do with extra Ktoiris? My Yosimbo. Mafrishi Mimenas Charum. We're going to learn the way Rashi today's argues a little bit, but let's focus on Rashi. What we did is like this. What they did was, you put the money you want to use for the people that prepare the Ktoiris. They need to get paid. So I put aside money for them. So take the Ktoiris, and I mafish the Ktoiris on this money. I give the Umnim what? This Ktoiris, it's not Ktoiris anymore. Then I use the money to buy it back. I use the Truma Chadosh to buy it back. So it's a Lav Cheshboni, so why you do it exactly this way? So we're not going to go now into this. It's a little Cheshbonik. You want to use Truma Chadosh. How do you use, Today's asking Rashi exactly what you do with the money. But let's just focus over here. The idea is that I don't want to make a full sale. Rashi says of Ktoiris in the marketplace. It's bizarre. So what I do is I go to the guy who prepares. I say, you have to get money. You know what we'll do? Let's take your money. Let's redeem the Ktoiris with the money. Now I give the Ktoiris to you. And now I buy back the Ktoiris with the money that we have to pay you. So the Ktoiris goes back to Yisrael Mikdash and the Truma Chadash. That's what we do. How can you do that? How can you just redeem it as Kedusha? You just said something was Kodesh, you can't redeem. Shani Ktoiris says the one Ktoiris is different. Why? When they Yudaf and Aleph, the Kedushas Domim who? It's not Kedushas Guf. Kedushas Domim. Careful with the camera. Kedushas Domim. What is Kedushas Domim? It's not Kedushas Guf. Kedushas Guf means something which is Kodesh that has a carbon. Carbon you can't redeem. if it has kedusha. One wants to say at this moment, Ketores is not Kedusha's guf. Ketores is like dummy, which means it monetary belongs to Beis Hamikdash, but doesn't have a Kedusha of guf. Right? That's what it is. So, and Rashi explains, one makes items of Beis Hamikdash a guf. Kli says, where do you put the Ketores? Into the Machtesh. The Machtesh is a grinder. The grinder is not Kli Sharis. That's what we understand in this moment. And therefore there's no Kedusha of guf. Says the Gemara, if it doesn't have Kedusha Yoim, you should not have brought Tful Yoim. What's a Tful Yoim? Tful Yoim is someone who went to the mikvah, but he did not yet have Erev Shemesh. The sun did not set yet. So all he went to the mikvah, that's why he's a Tful Yoim. That's what it is. You say, if it's not Kedusha Guf, why is it Tful Yoim Poiselit? Alama Tari, why did it say in the Bryce? So, no, so Machtesh has Nifsel B'Tful Yoim. But in Machtesh, get the Tful Yoim. It doesn't have Kedusha Guf, why should it be Tful Yoim? V'chitema kol Kedushas Domi Nifsel B'Tful Yoim. Maybe you'll tell me, yeah, Tful Yoim is not only for Kedusha Guf. Tful Yoim is also for Kedusha of money. We learn, once you make a mincha kadosh, you have din meila. If you eat it, you have to pay for it, you have a whole din meila. Kadshu b'kli, once you put it into the kli sharis, gets kedushas aguf, huchshu li pasal b'tful yoim, now it's ready to get tzul tful yoim. U'mechusar kippur, chusar kippur is someone who went to the mikvah, had a shesh, but didn't bring his karbonis yet. Uvelino, and overnight. Kadshu b'kli, and the kadshu b'kli loy. Masha, only when he went to the kli, you have a din of tful yoim. Before he went to the kli, you don't have a din of tful yoim. Why don't I have a din of tful yoim before he went into the kli? Why not? Because what? Because it doesn't have Kedusha Guf. The only tful yoim, the issue of tful yoim is only Kedusha Guf. So you see from here, you need Kedusha Guf, you don't have tful yoim. Says the Gemara, Elamai Kedusha Guf. You have to say the Ketores is Kedusha Guf. You have to say Ketores is Kedusha Guf. So therefore, because Ketores is Kedusha Guf, so that's why it does absolute yoim. If so, how can I redeem it? Kedusha Sheboyim Neichad Alcha. Elamai Toti Pasal Belino. So before we get to that, you have to say Kedusha Guf. The Gemara right now, bring a raya, you don't say Kedusha Sheboyim Neichad Alcha. Says the Gemara, Elamai Toti Pasal Belino. So why doesn't it have a psul of lino that it should be overnight? Koimitz is the what you take from the mincha. Levoino is a specific spice. You put it on the lecha body. Ve'aktoiris u'minchas koyani, the koyani bring. U'minchas koyam meshuach, what koy gadol brings. U'minchas nesachim, the mincha that come with the nesachim. Moyalim be'em mishu gdishu. Kadshu b'kli u'chshuli pasal b'tvuyom u'chutz kipurim. Once Meila is right away to come English. Tful Yoim is only when they go into the Kli. Ubelina. Kadshu b'kli in le, kadshu b'kli loy. There's no lina before. Why? You just said that Ketores has a din of Kedusha's guf. Even before, once you grind it, has a din of Kedusha's guf. So what do you see? So you ask him, if it has Kedusha's guf, why Ketores doesn't have Kedusha's guf? Amar hey, lina kalmas shani Ketores u'v'tzurasa b'chal shanaku. So I'll tell you why. Ketores doesn't get spoiled. It stays the whole year. It's a Rashi. Tzurasa b'chal shanaku doesn't get spoiled. So therefore, I don't have a din of lina. Lina, what is lina? You leave it overnight. So the Gemara is giving us a little bit of a tale. Why is lina a problem? Because if I leave it overnight, it makes the carbon a little spoiled. It's too much. Ketores don't have that problem. That's a Rashi. Ketores learns, the idea is, other Rishonim learn, because Ketores is meant to be used. That's what it's meant to use. So there's no lino. But it really is Kedusha Guf. So one says, is Ketores Kedusha Guf? Yes. That's why you have Psul Yoim. And Psul Yoim. Hi, what about lino? Ketores doesn't have lino. Good. But it is Kedusha Guf. If so how can I redeem it? That's what the Gemara asks. Says the Gemara, so I have a problem. We say Kedusha Sheboyim Neichad Alcha. That was the Gemara asked when we started the Sukkah. The Sukkah was, I have Karbanos that the Tzibur doesn't need. You redeem it. How can you redeem it? Where's the Kedusha? Kedusha just evaporates. It's going, what about Ketores? Ketores has a Kedusha. Where's the Kedusha? Kedusha just evaporates. Says the Gemara, Omarabo live based in matne alem in hutzechu v'im lav yud meir. Says the way, you know why? Here's the chiddush of the sugya. Lev based in matne. What does lev based in matne mean? Based in are giving a kaddish. They say it's kaddish, but only if you need it. If you don't need it, I'm not making it a kaddish. If I'm making it only damim. It has kedusha as the goof. If you need it. So the korbanos that I put aside have six animals. If I use only 2, so 4 retroactive, I find out it doesn't have a kedusha. So only kedusha is damim. So 1 second, doesn't work. Tell you what the problem is. If a person goes and takes an animal, zoch, it doesn't matter zoch right, you said zoch right now. For the purpose of what we're learning right now, you take an animal which is going to be a korban, and I say this animal should be kedusha's domim. I don't want to give it to be a korban. I want it to be for its money. They're going to sell it and use the money for Risa Mikdash. Automatically, what happens? Kodesh Kedusha Guf. So what are you saying over here? They won't have Kedusha Guf unless you need it. But you can't. Animals automatically become Kedusha Guf. I can't derive it for something else. Loikash. So I want to tell you what. If he says, I want to use it for oilo, and if not, I said I don't want to make it a korban. I want to sell it, and with the money you buy a korban. Say, it doesn't go this way. The animal itself becomes a korban. But if I want to use the money for something else, I want you to take this animal to use the money not for a korban, for nesachim. Nesachim means to put the wine on the mizbeach. That you could do. I can make an animal a monetary aspect for other things but korbanos. If I want to use the money for korban purposes, then automatically becomes a korban.
Because there's kedusha on the animal.
Yeah.
Even though you don't want to use that animal.
Even though I don't, automatic. Okay, so that's the Gemara says. So we have tonight based in, the based in make the tonight, and they could do it because it's not, they're going to use the money for something else. And Savaya asks, now we're starting to get a little back into the story. Soon we get to our mission. So, do you have the animals in Yom Kippur that got lost? I went and I got other animals too in lieu of the ones that got lost. Second one, David on base. Or if it I have a seir for the Zara, got lost. He gives a replacement. Kulam Yamusu Divrei Rabudo. All these animals that were found that were not used, it's called the Kedusha's goof. You have to kill it. So Rabudo says, we wait for it to get a mum, and once they get a mum, that's what Yiru always. Yiru means you let it graze until you starve or until they get a blemish, and then they sell it and you use the money for the dove. You don't kill it.
You're allowed to eat it.
You don't kill it. So usually achatos you have to kill it, but achatos sibur you don't kill it. Why do I need this whole mahalach? Wait for it to get a mum. Korbanos, you just said that you have like a condition of base. If I don't need it, retroactively there's no kedusha. So here I didn't need this korbanos. I have korbanos you give, but they got lost. I don't need it. So automatically should not be kedusha.
And you can go for tomorrow, the whole Indian of tomorrow.
No, towards something. It was when you exchange for something else. No, I'm talking for avudim. Avudim of tzibush. That's enechanam. Says the Gemara, avudim kol ma'achani avudim do l'shchechi. I'll tell you why. Here it's loss. Loss is not something common. Usually, the tzibur don't lose animals. So, let base the matna only in something common that you can think of, like the case of the tmidim. You have 6 animals. Every day you have 6. Every year you have 4 extra. So, let base the matna. But here, they get lost, the base is not matna because it's not common. Says the one second. A report with the shchiach, pora adum is not shchiach. Rashi says, he brings, there was only 7 pora adumas in the whole history of Am Yisrael. It's only 7 pora adumas. It's not shchiach to have pora aduma. I can redeem the pora aduma. Any psul I find, I redeem it. Mesa, tipode. Even if it died, you redeem it. Nishchedo yishachtem, tipode. Motza acheres no imeno, tipode. I found the better animal, I redeem it.
What do you mean if it's nishcha? If it's Mesa, why do you have to be Kurdish?
You know if you found a problem with it. You shecht it, you found a problem. You can still redeem it. It's still redeemable even after you die. Shachta gabe ma'arochto, if you shecht it where it's in its location, the ma'aroch where you shecht paraduma, ein lebdir lamis. Then you can't redeem it anymore. Once it's on its ma'aroch, you can't do it. Right? Then you can't do it anymore. Because what should be Rashi says the gnai, once it was done correctly, to go and take it out. So what you see over here, that a paro is not shchiach, and I still can redeem it. But you said there's no lev based iman if it's not shchiach. So well, shani paro the kotche be the kabaisi. Paro aduma is not kotche mizbech. So it's not mizbech. We shecht and use the blood. So it's kotche be the kabais. Kotche be they can redeem.
Outside the...
Yeah, it's outside. Yachi meiso nishchadot tipode. So if it died or shechta, you can redeem it. But you need to be standing. So today's ask, mashra, if it would be a korban, I would understand. So today's ask is a machlekes, if for korbanos you need hamod of arocha. So does that mean we're going to the sheet that you don't need? There's other answers. But what is it going to say over here? Kedushas don't mean I for sure need the animal to stand. That's a word. Any animal which is alive and I need to redeem it, I need to be standing if it's kedushas don't. Here it's dead. I can't do hamod. Hamod arocha means standing and evaluating it. So it goes to the sheet that holds you don't need to do hamod arocha only by because it's bad and kotcher dam. So when you have Shimon and a seifo, let's go next one. Once you shecht it on its ma'arocho, there's no redemption. Para does have it in the food. Why? Hi, it's not edible. You're not allowed to eat the paradum. Anything you're not allowed to eat doesn't get too much. So you know why it's edible? Or you'll die selling shasa kosher. What do you shasa kosher? Because you redeem it. Yeah, because you can redeem it, you could make it edible. So even though right now it's not edible, because it has shasa kosher to be edible is good. From Shlokish, Omar Shimon, Por Nivdas, I'll give you my rochto. Shimon says you can redeem a paradum not only when it's alive, not only when it's dead, even when it was done in its place. So you can't say it's Rav Shimon, because if Shimon holds you can always redeem it, we just say you can't redeem it. Shani Paro, you'll be the Mea Yikrim. Says more you're right. There is Le Beis Din Matane. There is Le Beis Din Matane. Hi, we said the Beis Din Matane if it's something which is not common. And Paraduma is not common, why not? Because it's very rare to have Paraduma. Yeah, you're right. It's not common, but still Le Beis Din Matane because it's so expensive. Because Paraduma is very expensive. So therefore, then you have Beis Din Matane. Now, just to mention before we go on, the Gemara says over here they have a paraduma, you want to exchange for a different paraduma. Why? One reason, because you found a better one. So this goes in a very interesting discussion on halacha. Let's say a person, the discussion comes in the following case. A person in Ner Chanukah is very makbid to use neiris of shemen zayis, oil. One day he comes, he lights it, doesn't realize, if he made a mistake, it's not shemen zayis, he's using wax. The shayla is, should he exchange it for the shemen zayis? Or you say, once you did a mitzvah, don't take it away. So the discussion in the place, some place can say, once you do a mitzvah, you better to do the mitzvah the best thing. But once you already start to perform the mitzvah, you don't stop the mitzvah to do it better. So some, Chachosir, if I'm not mistaken, brings it right from here. The Gemara says over here, the Paradumo, you switch it even if you found a better one. What do you mean? When you have a mitzvah. So you see that even if you have a mitzvah, you can improve the mitzvah,
Yeah, we made the brachas on the candles ready.
Someone to say more than that. Say there already lit. He was just prepared.
I was prepared. He actually did the mitzvah.
Very good. What part of the discussion? Very good. So hold on, man. Mesa tipode. It says the paraduma, if it dies, you can still redeem it. What are you going to do once you redeem it? You can't eat it because it's dead. It died, so you can't eat it. So what are you going to do with paraduma once it's dead? You have to give it to the dogs. You're going to redeem it to give it to the dogs? No, the meat I'm not giving it to the dogs, but I want to redeem it in order to save its skin, its hide. So for the skin, I'm doing this whole thing. I'm doing a basin that I can redeem it. Yeah, if I can get from a camel even the ear, save something. I have an animal, it's all going to go to the garbage. So let's redeem it, and then I can get at least the skin. ACV, someone brings a question. Oh, That's how we got all this sugya. We're coming to our Mishnah. What happened in our Mishnah? The house of Shimon, well, the karbanos of regalim, can you makriv in Rosh Chodesh? Can the karbanos even kippur be makriv regalim? Can I switch around? Amalu yikarv. He said, yeah, you could. Amalu where kaparas with Shavuos ayachim craving. So that was the question the Rabban asked of Shimon. Shimon, you hold the different types of karbanos, right? You hold the different kaparas. You kippur's mechaper yesh leidir betchila ve'endir b'soif. Yesh leidir b'soif ve'endir betchila. The regal is mechaper and leidir lo betchila lo b'soif. Rosh Chodesh is mechaper and Torah shechos. How can they mechaper in each other? Amleim kulam bein mechaper tu is migdash v'kosher. So it's all in the same category. Tu is migdash v'kosher. Ve'mai leima lei beis man ne'aleim. Why not say easy? You know why can we take the seir regal and put it with Rosh Chodesh? Because lo beis dimat there. If I can't use it, I bring it for something else. Why do you say this answer? So Shimon lays lay beis dimat ne'aleim. Shimon argues with this concept. If I have twinim, which is our case, you have twinim which are extra in the end of the year. According to Shimon, you can't redeem when they're without a blemish. According to Hartman, you could report it to you. So that's it. That's what Shimon argues. Shimon says you don't have love based in mind. Who is the one who argues on Reb Shimon? The one goes on where he mentioned before. So the Ketayris, Shimon holds, you can, they said there you can redeem Ketayris. You have love based in mind. Says the Gemara, but after you base Udalev, Shani Ketayris is the lav bas re'iyah. Maybe you can't make a rav for Ketayris. Because Ketayris, I can't give it a mum. Usually I would not redeem it without a blemish. But by Ketayris there's no blemish. I have no choice, I can redeem it. And even when you could have a blemish, you have to wait for a blemish. Hello, Abonon the Para Adumo, that you say you can redeem it. The Mishani Para the Damea Yekarim, so that's why you have a special Lev Bezimande. But usually you won't have Lev Bezimande. For the Rabbanon, the Amrullah, Rabbanon that question Rabbi Shimon. Right? What did Rabbanon the question of Shimon said? They told you, they said, in our Mishnah, we're going to ask of Shimon, why, according to you, how can you make one by each other? Meaning, Mashra, they're saying, according to us, it's not a problem. Why? Because Lev Bezimande. So, well, that's not true. Who said that the one who's questioning of Shimon is Rabbi Yehuda? And therefore what? What does Rabbi Yehuda tell you, Shimon? Look to me, I hold basically can change around. So even though Rabbi Yehuda holds that only regalim and Rosh Chodesh or makriv are the same korban, but now you don't kippur. And your kippur is yesh lo yidio, en lo yidio b'tchila, yesh lo yidio b'soif. Mashayke Rosh Chodesh and regalim is en lo yidio lo b'tchila lo b'soif. So how can they be mikra echad b'sheni? How could they have korban in one each other? So he says, because I hold lev bezimati, right? For the mashra, lev bezimati can change it around. So that's what was, so to speak, quote. Rabbi didn't say it. Was putting into Rabbi's words. Understand that it can exchange around. So we understand it in our Mishnah, the one who's questioning Rabbi Shimon, so one is saying, according to me, I also it's not the same korban. So how can I bring one korban and another? Let base mat. According to you, there's no levi matzah. What are you going to do? So who said? Maybe it's Rameir is bringing the question. Like we explained the Mishnah. According to Rameir, Seir Regalim, Seir Rosh Chodesh, Seir and Kippur, they all do the same thing. They're all mechaper in all three. Yesh lo yidiyah, en lo yidiyah b'tchil shli b'soif, en lo yidiyah lo b'tchil v'loi b'soif, and Torah shechol tameh does all three. So mishumachi yikarvu, adidochi ma yikarvu. Right? In other words, what does Rameir tell you of Shimon? For me, all korbanos are doing the same thing. They're all doing the same thing. So because they're all doing the same thing, I can exchange one for each other. But you, that you're holding out doing the same thing, how can you exchange? But it doesn't say the Rameir holds Lev Bezimate. Where do we find Lev Bezimate? Rabbi Yochanan Gemara Gamila. Rabbi Yochanan has a Gemara. I mean, he has a Messiah from his Rebbe. You have Shimon and Nivdim. You have Chachamim Nivdim. It's a machlokes. We don't have a source for it. He has the Messiah, that's who it is. Now, so what comes out? So Gemara concludes our sugya and says, if Shimon holds, you don't say le beis dimate. According to Hartman, le beis dimate. Le beis dimate, then if I can exchange it, if I can redeem it, if I can exchange it. And then this comes out in halacha. There's interesting things about it. For example, when a person, one thing is brought down in the Shulchan Aruch, if I have a bima, and the bima is meant to use for the Sefer Torah, can I put on the bima my own stuff? So the halacha is you could, because le beis dimate. Yochel basically said, we're going to use it for the Sefer Torah whenever we need the Sefer Torah. But if I don't need the Sefer Torah, I can use it for other things. And there's many different inyanim that have to do with it. Let basically mat is a clear halacha. That means basically mat that if I have the kedusha for what I need, for what I don't need is not kaddish. I can take out the kedusha for what I don't need it. So that comes out of the halacha as well. And here comes what we learn. Some machlekes, Rabban and Reb Shimon. If we say levim mes mat on that, and that's what the Gemara concludes in this stuff. Say the Gemara. We'll stop over here.
Let's continue.